Lots of movies are filled with scenes we've seen countless times already, like the bad guy who kills loyal henchmen when they screw up, the lovebirds who don't get along at first, or the car that won't start just when the hero has to flee. However, there are also cliches that happen so often it almost feels normal. And we're not talking about villains with a Russian accent or the protagonist who knocks people out with one punch. We're talking about everyday stuff we all encounter on a daily basis. So for this special, we'll be looking at the top 5 things movie characters always do that never happen in real life. At number 5, people never pay for drinks at a bar. They just order and walk away with the beverages. Of course, this boring fact of life is taken out, so the film won't be too dull, but it's still not recommendable to do this in reality. Although if you can get away with it, you'll undoubtedly have a
good night.
Great night.
Hey.
Hey.
The next thing that only happens in movies is when the characters go out to eat at a restaurant. They take 3 bites, chat a bit, and when the conversation is over, they conveniently take off. Why on earth would anyone go through all the trouble of going for dinner, staying there for 5 minutes, and almost not eating at all? And of course, once again, they never seem to need to pay.
Excuse me.
At number 3, we've got the unrealistic situation where people turn on the channel right when a news bulletin starts. It's always super conveniently about the case they're working on, or it contains a story that personally affects the protagonist.
While some experts say that silicone breast implants are dangerous, unhealthy, and degrading to women, I say, in the most journalistic way I can, bring on the fun bags.
Now, Brian, I read somewhere, and tell me if this is true, that some of the silicone breast implants were filled with taco meat.
I'm so sorry.
The number 2 item on our list of things only movie characters do is climbing through the ceiling of an elevator when they get stuck. Just think about that for a second. If you were trapped in a lift, would you A, call for help and wait it out, or B, risk your life by climbing out and finding your way back through ventilation shafts? Besides, do elevators really have those trapdoors these days? See if you can find one. But the worst and weirdest everyday situation in films has got to be the phone call. When people are talking over the phone and don't feel like calling any longer, they just hang up without saying goodbye. And we're not talking about when an emergency occurs, just regular conversations that suddenly go.
Benny Klieger over at
Morgan is taking on some heavy losses in the bond department. Might be time to get a life jacket and get out.
I mean, seriously, I feel like I'm financially inside of you or something.
Okay.
I'm jacked.
I'm jacked to the tits!
Good.
Do you feel it?
No.
We do have a feeling that maybe not saying goodbye at the end of a call isn't normal even in films, as when you hear the click at the other end of the line, they always say hello at least twice to the dead signal. Anyway, these were the worst movie cliches in normal situations we could think of. Now let's focus on the good stuff and look at some positive parts of movie making.